It was a quiet Friday morning in Tallahassee, Florida, when a call came in to 911. A man had been shot inside his car, just a few feet from his driveway. When police arrived, they found Daniel Markel, a respected law professor at Florida State University, slumped behind the wheel. 2 bullets had been fired through his window. At first, detectives thought it might be a burglary gone wrong, but they would soon uncover something far darker. Something that reached deep into a wealthy South Florida family with secrets worth killing for. This is the story of Donna Adelson, the matriarch of a powerful family who would stop at nothing to keep control, and whose desire to fix her daughter's life ended with the professor's death. Daniel Markel wasn't just another academic. He was brilliant, ambitious, and passionate about the law. He'd earned his degrees from Harvard and Cambridge and built a reputation as a sharp legal mind. In 2006, he met Wendy Adelson, a young lawyer from a wealthy Miami family. Her parents, Donna and Harvey Adelson, ran a successful dental practice. Wendy was warm, charming, and loved by her family. To them, Daniel seemed like the perfect match. Smart, accomplished, and driven. They married, had 2 sons, and settled in Tallahassee, where Daniel taught law at FSU. But over time, the marriage began to crumble. Wendy felt isolated in the small college town far from her close-knit Miami family. Daniel, meanwhile, was focused on his career and strict parenting style. By 2013, they divorced, and what followed was a bitter custody battle. Daniel wanted to raise his boys in Tallahassee, while Wendy wanted to move them closer to her parents in Miami. The court sided with Daniel, and Wendy was furious. Her mother, Donna Adelson, was even angrier. Donna saw Daniel as an obstacle, someone who had humiliated her daughter and ripped apart their family. She began venting in emails and texts, calling him toxic, controlling, and the problem that needed to go away. It was resentment that would soon turn into conspiracy. On the morning of July 18, 2014, Daniel dropped his kids off at daycare and stopped by the gym before heading home. Surveillance footage later showed a silver Toyota Prius following him. Minutes after pulling into his driveway, Daniel was shot twice in the head. Neighbors heard the gunfire and rushed outside, but the car had already sped away. Paramedics tried to save him, but by that afternoon, the 41-year-old professor was pronounced dead. Police at first were stumped. There was no forced entry, no theft, and no immediate suspects. Daniel had no known enemies. But as investigators began interviewing family and friends, a clearer picture started to form. The only ongoing conflict in Daniel's life was with the Adelsons. Detectives turned to surveillance footage and license plate tracking. They discovered the Toyota Prius had been rented in South Florida just days before the murder. The car was tied to Siegfried Garcia and Luis Rivera, 2 men from Miami with long criminal histories. They had driven nearly 500 miles north, arrived the night before the shooting, and left right after. They didn't know Daniel Markel. They had no connection to him, except for the payment that would follow. Cell phone records led police to Catherine Magbanoa, Garcia's girlfriend. When they dug deeper, they found Magbanoa was romantically involved with Charlie Adelson, Wendy's brother. Phone logs, cash transfers, and intercepted conversations showed money flowing from Charlie to Magbanoa, then to Garcia and Rivera. The motive? To eliminate Daniel so Wendy and the Adelsons could move the children to Miami freely. Investigators later testified that the family had discussed paying someone $100,000 to solve the problem. The money trail matched that figure almost exactly. For 2 years, detectives quietly gathered evidence. They traced calls, watched the family, and waited for a break. In 2016, that break came. The FBI launched Operation Dulce Vida, a sting that placed an undercover agent near the Adelsons' office in Miami. The agent approached Donna Adelson, pretending to be an extortionist who knew what their family had done. The goal was to see how the family would react. Donna didn't call police. Instead, she phoned her son. Soon after, the FBI recorded a tense conversation between Charlie Adelson and Catherine Magbanoa at a Miami restaurant. Charlie complained that someone was trying to blackmail them about the thing that happened in Tallahassee. That secret recording became the cornerstone of the case. It proved that both Charlie and Donna knew about the murder and were worried it might come back to them. Armed with new evidence, prosecutors moved in. In 2016, Garcia and Rivera were charged with first-degree murder. Rivera took a plea deal and testified that he and Garcia had been hired by Magbanua, who was paid by Charlie. Garcia was convicted and sentenced to life. Rivera received 19 years for cooperating. Magbanua's first trial ended in the hung jury, but she was later convicted in 2022 and sentenced to life as well. That same year, police arrested Charlie Adelson, charging him with murder, conspiracy, and solicitation. His trial in 2023 ended with a guilty verdict on all counts. For nearly 10 years, Donna Adelson had managed to avoid arrest. But after her son's conviction, investigators uncovered more. Emails, financial records, and travel documents showing that she had helped fund the hit and coach her children through cover stories. In November 2023, as police prepared to arrest her, Donna and her husband packed their bags. They booked one-way tickets to Vietnam, a country with no extradition treaty with the U.S. But before the plane could take off, agents arrested her at Miami International Airport. In 2025, after a decade of denials and courtroom battles, Donna Adelson was sentenced to life without parole. The state called her the mastermind in the background, a woman whose influence, wealth, and hatred for her ex-son-in-law set the plan in motion. Charlie Adelson remains behind bars. Catherine Magbanua and Sigfrido Garcia are serving life sentences. Luis Rivera continues to cooperate with prosecutors. And at the center of it all, Daniel Markel's two sons, now teenagers, are growing up without their father. The Markel family continues to advocate for victims' rights and to honor Daniel's legacy as a teacher and father who sought justice and fairness in everything he did. From Harvard classrooms to Florida courtrooms, the case of Donna Adelson reveals just how far some will go to maintain control. It's a story of privilege, manipulation, and the dark side of family loyalty. For Daniel Markel's loved ones, justice came slowly, but it came. And for Donna Adelson, the woman who once claimed to protect her family above all else, the final chapter of her life will be written behind prison walls.